Hello Stampers, it is Thursday evening at 7:30 and welcome to Live Crafting with Wendy. In case you don't know me, I'm Wendy Fee from Wendy's Little Inklings and I'm just outside of the city of Toronto. Most of you guys know where I am, but if you're like from somewhere else, you may not know where that is. So tonight we're going to very quickly make I'm going to show you very quickly. We're going to make one little treat packet for Halloween trees. So these are really kind of just origami little packets that I went and created and dressed up. Each of them is made with a 6x6 piece of paper. And so really it's all in the folding. And then once you've got it folded, you can just take some treats and you can just slide them in. So you can use these for Halloween, but I mean, frankly, you could use these for just about anything. You could make them for Christmas. You could make them for birthdays, put them in loot bags. But for tonight, I'm just going to pull these ones out of the way for a moment and we'll go ahead and make one. So I mentioned this afternoon that you could go ahead and grab a 6x6 piece of paper. I do have mine here. I was like, where'd it go for a second? You could grab a 6x6 piece of paper and then you could make this just kind of going along at the same time as me. So I'm using a piece of the cute Halloween paper. There are a total of eight different sheets in this pack. They're all 6x6 and they're all Halloweeny. I did not cut these up for my book simply because I didn't want to have these really broken pieces when I knew that I could use them for something else. So as you can see, they're pretty cute, right? Like the pumpkins, you got some cats in here. And then when you flip them all over on the back side, everything on the back side is black and white, which is really good because I mean, hey, it's Halloween, right? So you've got all these cute little patterns on the back and then the front side is all in color. So I'm going to use this guy here, which is a whole lot of black and orange stripes. Okay, so if you have your piece of paper there, and if you don't, that's not a big deal. You can go ahead and grab a 6x6 piece of paper afterwards, okay? But what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it and you're gonna fold it, so on the diagonal. Now, here's the thing. Whatever side is getting folded over like this, that is the outside of your treat packet, okay? So once you fold it like this is going to become your inside pattern, all right? And the one thing I found when I was doing this, because we're not using patterns we're using some that are kind of, they all face one way, right? So you've got all these cats and they're not really easily going to face straight up and down. So what I found when I was doing this is that if you have a look at this one, everything on these folds is going in the same direction. And it's the same thing on here. All the boos, all the words are in the same direction. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fold it so that the stripes are on the inside as opposed to the outside, okay? All right, so I'm just going to take this and fold it corner to corner, assuming that the paper doesn't slide too much. I'm going to fold it corner to corner, and then I want to make sure that I have a pretty good fold here. So I'm going to use my bone folder and just give it a good burnish. Okay, so once I have that, okay, so you've got this lovely, it looks like a bit like a napkin, I think, kind of, something you would just put beside your dinner table. All right, so once you have this, you're going to take one corner, start with the bottom, and you're going to fold it straight up. The key is that you want this edge here to be straight. So I'm actually using my grid paper just to kind of eyeball it to make sure that it is straight. You don't want it all the way to the edge either. So probably about 3/4 of an inch away from the edge over on that side, but I do want it to be pretty straight. So that's pretty good because I can see it lines up here, lines down there. I'm going to fold it over. Same thing, I'm going to give it a burnish. Okay. All right. So we started with a piece of 6x6, fold it in half, put it down, and then put this up. So like I said, you want this to be straight and you want it to be in line with this one here. Okay. So once you've got that, you're going to turn it over and you're going to fold the other one back the same way. And so because this edge here is already straight, you're just going to line these ones up. Just like that. And then same thing, you're going to give it its nice burnish so that you get that crisp edge. Okay, and then you have what looks a bit like a Chinese takeout box, kind of, sort of. Okay, so just really quickly to review, you've got your piece of paper. This is going to be the inside. This is going to be the outside. You're going to take this, you're going to fold this up so that this line here is even with this side of the paper here, about 3/4 of an inch that way. And then you're just going to fold the other side. Once you have this, you need to seal it. So I've got some Stampin' Steel Plus here. You don't want to be stingy. You don't want to use like the cheap dollar store adhesive because it will come apart. You need to use something decent on it to get it to stay. Okay, all right. So after we have this, the last step is to simply take this and fold the front flap over. And you've got yourself a cute little tree pocket. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this down as well. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put this guy aside for a second. Of the 4 that are already here, they're all using different sheets of paper. Okay, so this one here, oh, I guess it might help if I showed you what I was using. It might help, just so you have an idea of exactly what I'm up to. Okay, so tonight I have the Frightfully Cute bundle. So it's got these cute little stamps in here, and then it also has the dies. And so the dies look like this when they are cut out. Right, you've got the awesome spider web, you've got this wonderful shape that I've been using on all of mine. You've got a fence, you've got a witch's hat, a circle for like a moon, you got a cute little tree, and an owl and a couple of tags here. It does also have a die that cuts out stars, so you could use that as like a die on a card or a project where you're trying to get out the stars around the edges, or you could, and it would be a little bit of work, you could actually just run this through a few times and you would end up with star confetti if that's what you really wanted to do. Okay, so I have these little guys here. So just to start, this guy here has got some of the spiders from that stamp set coming down. I've added a little bit of the black, oh, I can't remember the name of this, the black organdy ribbon. It's got like the sparkles in it. And I just realized he's like really off kilter. He's not really straight. I may have to take him apart, or I might just have to shove candy inside and it's fine. This is embossed in black just because I wanted it to kind of stand out a little bit so it's a little bit shiny, matches the shiny in there. And what am I going to stick in here? I'm going to put in some Skittles. I broke open the Halloween candy for this tonight. I'm going to have to put it away again and seal the bag up. So you can see like a little thing of Skittles just fits in there really nicely. All right, so this guy here, the Less Trickin' More Treatin', he has got a spider web behind him. And if you look, I think you can probably see that it's one of the sparkly ones. It uses some of the black glimmer paper. And their glimmer paper now is way better than it used to be because it is really secure on here. Like you don't have the loose pieces of glitter coming off. And the other thing about it is that there's a black background on it. So you're not having to worry about white showing through the glitter paper. Now, this stuff will dull your die. So if you were die cutting it, I highly suggest that you cut it from the back. And then once you've got it cut through, you can go ahead and punch the pieces through and you don't have to worry about, you know, wrecking your dies quite as quickly. So that's what I did with this lovely, cute little spider web. Then same thing, I heat embossed the sentiment on there, added like a little gold star. And now I'm going to put in some, I think we're getting Swedish fish. I'm not kidding. I'm going to have to seal all this up again because I can't eat it. That would be really bad. Otherwise, my little kids would not my kids, my poor neighbors' kids would have nowhere to trick or treat because I wouldn't have any candy. So this one here, the baddie for you, it is the same shape again. So I keep using this shape here. I just want a little bit of consistency. And I embossed the baddie for you, added a gold star, which was on the bottom here. I think I must have yanked it off when I was moving things around. There we go. And then I put the tree on. I don't know if you can see the tree. The tree, I die cut that from that black shimmery paper again, and then just cut out the extra pieces and glued it on. I think he's really cute. I love the Highland Heather along with that orange, the pumpkin pie, and the black. Just a great color combination. So this one's going to get some Reese's Pieces, which I'm shocked to say have been sitting on my kitchen counter for a few weeks, probably a couple weeks at this point, and I love these things. So maybe there's hope after all. Okay, so the final one that I have that's finished is this one here, the Which Way to the Candy. So same shape yet again, and then I added a witch's hat. So I die cut this one, and then I just added a little bit of Wink of Stella to it. Now, the key thing with this is that when you die cut the shimmery paper from the back, you end up with 2 different orientations of hat. So I kept this one, we're using it on the other one, but you can see that this one just sticks off just nicely off that edge right there. Okay, added a couple of these little stars here. I'll show you the bunch of them in a second. And then I took some of the Highland Heather ribbon that's in the catalog, and it's really thick. It's like this. And I cut it in half, cut probably about a 6.5 inch strip this way, cut it in half, and then just wrapped it around the back. So I think we're going to stick in some, we'll put in some arrowheads just so you can see that you can theoretically put more than one treat in there. Okay, there. Okay, so you got some treats in there. So the stars that I've been putting on there, because I did forget to show them to you, they're like cute star. They're called Cute Stars adhesive back sequins. And there's just 3 different colors. There's black and there's like kind of an iridescent. And then there's the pumpkin pie. These 2 are iridescent. The black is not. But it just gives you kind of something to add on to your projects. It's just kind of something fun, right? I always like this something fun. Okay, so over here, going back to this one. Okay, so we have this little guy. And then I did die cut a pumpkin pie shape to put on here. So you remember at the beginning I had talked about how if you had a pattern, the inside of the pattern would match. You can see that the stripes match here. So that's why I opted to put the stripes on the inside, because had I put the stripes on the outside, you would have one orientation of stripes, but then they would be all over the place once you do the folds on the front. Okay, so that's why I decided to go ahead and put it on the inside, just to make it look a little bit better. All right, so I have my tag here. I do have the witch's hat that has been cut with the shimmery black paper. And then I've got that black organdy ribbon again, because it's got that same kind of like, I guess there's almost, I don't even know what you call it. There's like a little bit of confetti, sparkly confetti in there. And I have a stamp. So I figured because we got a witch's hat, we're going to put which way to the candy. Normally, I would certainly stamp this first and die cut second, but you know, you all know what I'm like with my die cutting on camera, so I'm not doing that. Okay, all right, so we've got which way to the candy, which you can see I just added a little bit of extra black there by accident. I wonder if my hat will cover it. Will my hat cover it? My hat could cover it. I don't know if I like it like that. I don't think I like it like that. You know, if I put it on like this, so if I have it like that and I put the hat kind of below and then I put some stars on it, no, I can turn it over. There's always another side to everything, even to die cuts. But let's just make sure that, where to have that extra ink right down here. Let me just make sure that I got that off. Okay, let's try this again. Better. Better, better, better. I'm a stickler through things like that. So, and then once I have this guy here, let's just pull this over. Yeah, that's much better. So I can put that on like that. Okay. And then I think I will just put a little bit of ribbon in behind. I've been kind of wrapping it so that you can see a bit of a fold here and then you've got the ends. So I think I'll do the same thing. I know I was using about 6.5 inches of ribbon when I was cutting these, because I actually measured to make sure. Okay, and I'm just going to fold this in half. So once it's folded in half, you can see I've got like the one edge here. I don't like to put them on, it's a Wendy thing. I don't like to put them on so they're sitting right over top. I kind of like having them a little bit offset. And I'm going to use some strong adhesive on the back because this stuff is a little finicky in terms of trying to get it to stay. So I'm going to put it flat, just like that, and then I'm going to turn this over and put it on top. Okay, so I'm going to try and line this up so that it's close, not bad on that side, and then a little bit more like that. Yep, that's okay. Okay, good. Let's see what that's going to look like when it's on there. Oh, that'll be okay. That'll be cute. All right, so I will also add, I'm not going to glue this on with dimensionals this time, because the dimensionals do not like sticking to that ribbon at all. Although, let's see. Okay, no, I can do that. I can put them here. So I will add a couple of smaller ones right in here, right on the top and the bottom. You just really need to make sure that it's going to stay on. You don't want to come flapping off when you go and stuff candy in it or anything else. I mean, you could put other stuff in here. It doesn't have to be candy. It's Halloween, so kind of on the, candy mode at the moment, right? I went to Costco last week. I bought my candy. I have enough chocolate bars for 125 kids. I have no idea this year if that's going to be enough or not, because I would like to think that we will be back to relative trick-or-treating normal. It sounds like we will, but who knows? I guess part of it depends on the weather. All right, it is Canada after all. All right, okay, so we're going to put that on there. I mean, seriously, how many of you remember trick-or-treating with snowsuits on? I remember trick-or-treating with snowsuits on. And I'm sure part of it was because I grew up just beside Lake Huron, or at least I spent my early years. Here we go. All right. Okay, good. Actually, no, let me stick this back because I could just see myself banging my phone again and things going flying, and we all know how that turns out. Okay, so we've got the hat, we've got the die cut, we've got the ribbon, and I think I'll add just like a little black star over here. My phone's almost out of power because my husband, the football guy from last week, or one of them, he has been texting me this afternoon and this evening because he is in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so he's been shopping. So he keeps texting me to tell me about what he's getting, which is kind of funny because he's not a shopping kind of guy. All right. Okay. So is there anything else we need on there? I don't think so. Okay. So the sparkly here is offset by the sparkly in the ribbon. Added a little bit of stars, a couple of stars there just to offset those. Got my which way to the candy. So the only thing we're missing now is candy. So I've got another thing of Reese's Pieces, but I think that's too much orange. So we're going to go with the Sour Patch Kids. I'm just going to stick them aside. All right. Okay. There we go. So it is ridiculously easy to make these guys, like ridiculously so. You can certainly make Halloween ones using Frightfully Cute and the dies. You can make them using whatever paper you want. Like I say, it's a 6x6 sheet of paper. So you just want to make sure that you're using 6x6. I mean, you could certainly go smaller. If you go smaller, then you're going to start to end up in a situation where these are going to be difficult to actually fill. And if you go 8x8, then at that point you're making really big ones. 6x6 is great because it's 1/4 of a sheet of 12x12, or in the case of our Halloween paper, it's just one sheet of paper. Okay, all right. So just a couple of quick reminders. If you make a purchase with me in October, you will receive an invitation to my exclusive holiday class on Monday the 8th, Monday the 8th of November. It's the day after my anniversary. And also, if you go ahead and make an online order and add the host code, you would get a $15 value item for free from me. Normally it's $10. So I've kind of upped it, just because it was my 15th anniversary on Monday and I just want to reward some people with some good fun things. Okay, so if you have any questions, please go ahead and add them in the comments tonight. And otherwise, I hope to see you again very, very soon. You all have yourselves a lovely, lovely evening. Thanks for stopping by.